Hey, this is the Aroma Junkie, and today I'll be reviewing Citrus Grove. This is a 3-wick candle from Bath & Body Works. Packaging wise, it is very basic and straightforward, nothing to really talk about. It has a black lid and this square label in the front. It has thin core wicks and a very faint yellow tint to the wax, but it doesn't really pick up in the photos. Now, if you're familiar with Bath & Body Works, they always have some returning scents come back for the semi-annual sale, and this was one of them. Now, whenever you see basic packaging like this with just a front label that has a design that's nothing to do with the scent and doesn't have a full wraparound, it is because it's more cost efficient to make, so they can offer it out the gate at a lower price point. So I'm not a packaging whore, so I was perfectly fine with the label because I really only care whether it throws good or not. I'm a candle whore through and through, and I need a hit of that throw. Now, on a side note, one YouTuber couldn't stop complaining about this packaging. No names. But this came out the gate at $10.99, so everyone knew the packaging would be lousy, but this person kept complaining non-stop in every video and didn't understand why the packaging was so dull. Like, come on, it's $10.99. You know why? Okay. So I remember this coming out in summer 2024, and it got horrible reviews online. So I decided to skip it that year, and I should have followed my instincts for 2025. But I really like fruit scented candles. Those are one of my favorites. But in the last year, I have branched out and opened up to trying different scents. Now, given this was a special SAS release, and SAS was ending soon, it finally dropped to around $8. So I went ahead and got two, and I was like, how bad can it be, right? So the scent notes include freshly picked orange, sparkling citrus, and lemon twist. So as soon as I open the lid, I get this whiff of a lemon citrus note. I don't really get the freshly picked orange at all, but I did like it on cold. And the best way I can describe this candle to you and what it reminds me most of is the lemon beverage from Minute Maid that you get at any supermarket or corner bodega. You know, when it's a hot summer day, the sun is scorching outside like over 100 degrees, and you need a refresher and you need something cool to drink. This scent to me fits perfectly with summer because I immediately think of that Minute Maid drink, and I find myself gravitating towards that during the summer. It didn't remind me of a cleaning product at all, and it just made me think of a fresh, cold summer beverage. So I like the scent, and that is really the only nice thing I can say about this. So I always give a candle 3 chances. My first burn is in my living room, open space, because that's where I'm at the most. And that is where I needed to work the most. I don't have a big place, nor do I think my ceilings are higher than any other normal place for a candle to perform poorly. I burn it for the 3 to 4 hours recommended time for the first burn, and in my second burn, I usually do about 2 to maybe 3 hours still in my living room. And lastly, if it's not performing during the first 2 burns in my open space, then I'll put it in my bathroom or bedroom, which are both small, by the way, and the candle will just stay there to live out the rest of its life till it dies. Now, performance-wise, this was actually burning okay during the initial burn. It did take over 1 hour to get an even wax pool, and I could smell it from a few feet away, and I would say it was in the light to mid-range in terms of strength and throw. It is by no means a powerhouse, and I didn't expect it to be. It never got to a level 7 for me, and for me, a level 7 is my sweet spot. Obviously, I want a 9 or 10, but I rarely come across candles like that. So I got 2 of these and decided to burn them simultaneously to see if it would do better, and it didn't. It really struggled in my living room, so I finally had to put both of them in my bedroom, which is once again a small space. And I even had the door closed. And even with it closed, it never got to that level where I left it alone for 2 hours, opened the door, and bam, got smacked in the face with the throw. It did not do that at all. You know what I'm saying? Okay. By itself as a standalone candle, I would say it got to a level 4 in my living room, but I had to get closer and closer with each subsequent burn to really smell it. I could detect it, but it was so faint. So with 2 going on in my bedroom, right, and the door closed, you would think it would be an 8, right? But it only got to a level 5. This started off as a clean burn, and then halfway through, it got all dirty and sooty, as you can see, and I did my best to get my money's worth and to burn it to the bitter end. The scent was non-existent with each new burn, so I finally decided to call it quits and just throw the thing out, and there was probably about 20% left at that point. The thin core wicks do make me nervous, so I trim the mushroom tips only lightly because I've had performance issues with thin core wicks where you get itty bitty flames, and sometimes the wax will just put out the flame because it could barely do any damage nor melt anything. So this brings me to my final thoughts, and this candle gets a 3 out of 10 from me in a moderate sized living room. If you wanted to really be strong or to get it to a mid-range level, you'll need 2 burning at once in the living room or in a small bedroom just to get a decent throw. If you have a huge apartment or house, this is a hard pass. I would not recommend this, and I would never buy it again. If you see this for under $5, I would even say just pass. The pain it causes is worth more than $5. This was an epic letdown. Never again. So thank you again for checking out my review. If you like, please subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share this with your friends, and let me know your thoughts down below on this candle.